JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the premium booster sets are currently out in JP Weiss Schwarz, and there are a lot of solid cards in the set. Before we get started, let's get to some set information first. Stardust Crusaders and Stone Ocean had a release date of August 11th. For Stardust Crusaders, there was a total of 60 cards and 67 parallel rares. Each card has a JJ rare variant, and there are 7 SP cards, while Stone Ocean has 60 cards with 68 parallel rares, with 8 SP cards. In this premium booster set, the SP cards are the signed cards of the VAs. Stardust Crusaders contains red and yellow cards, while Stone Ocean has blue and yellow cards. This set is Neo Standard with the previously released JoJo's Bizarre Adventure set, which is part 5. In this video, we're going to talk about one combo, and that is Jotaro. If y'all want me to do one for Dio, let me know in the comments below, and I will put the shirt back on, and it will look like one continuous video. But first, Jojo. Here's Star of Hope Jotaro and Star Platinum. He states that on play from hand, you could send one of your characters from the stage to the waiting room. If you do, stock heal. In Climax combo, at the start of your attack phase, if you have Destiny of the Joestar family in play, this card gains 11,000 power and the following ability. After this card's attack, you could ditch 2 copies of this card, ditch 4, burn 1 7 times, then burn 7. The climax is a 1k1 and a door when triggered. Now this is flavorful. Each instance of 1 is essentially Star Platinum just hitting the shit out of you. Call it a reach? I call it sweet. Alright, let's talk about the actual effect itself. The cost is super heavy. This is definitely one of those like win more effects. You know those kinds of effects, there's a lot of them in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is definitely a resource management style deck. I mean, if you get it off, you've probably already won. You're not worried about the stock, you're more worried about your hand size and getting certain cards in your hand. You are going to be able to do this once, twice if you have 2 on board and you trigger a door before your second Jotaro attack, we're getting to what ifs at that point. So you attack with this card, you get the stock. Again, you're not super worried about that. So you are going to be swinging for 3. Now this is at the end of this card's attack, so you are susceptible to the counter step. Remember, this is after its attack, so you can side attack and you will still get this effect off. Now you essentially dump your whole hand and you burn 1 7 times and then burn 7. That is individual points of damage, so it's 1, then 1, then 1, etc. Do that 7 times. That is lethal. And then you burn 7, which is another round of lethal damage. In total, you are doing 17 points of damage. You better win at that point, I swear. Also, I did forget to mention for some reason, but Jotaro is going to be at 22,000 power with Climax. That's like way too much. That's a lot. So you're essentially going to be running over everything. But do remember, again, it's at the end of the attack, so you are susceptible to the counter step. So do keep that in mind. I don't know what you did in your past life if you're not winning after this effect, where that you're cursed essentially. So you swing for 3, you burn 1 7 times, then you burn 7. If you don't win, you have 2 extra lanes that you can attack. But because you can't play another copy of this Jotaro, and the other level 3s that are around are kind of also hand heavy, you might want to prop down some weenies and just crash those lanes. What's crazy is that if you have your opponent at level 3, you're almost certain that you're going to win the game, but you could actually technically finish the game at level 2. It's unlikely because that burn 7, I don't know about that. But if your opponent has walked under enough ladders, passed through a bunch of black cats, you could technically finish the game at level 2. Most likely it's not going to happen. You can technically win the game at level 2, but around 2-4 is when your opponent starts sweating when you drop a Jotaro. Now this is your main level 3 finisher, and you're going to be building around this card. So here are some cards that I recommend that you toss in your deck to create some consistency and some extra just in case. There's Live Freely Iggy and the Fool. This card gives all your front row characters 1k5, and it does have character discount encore and a pay 2, ditch 2, burn 2 effect. Play this if you have the hand to spare. This is also just a good card to have in any deck, and it's just a simple way to close out games. Gives you that extra reach that you might need. Searching for Love Polnareff states that this card cannot side attack, and once per turn, when you use an act ability, this card gains on reverse blind stock. Although you're not worried about your stock, you will be using the pay 3 effect to keep your cards on board while maintaining hand. All In of Soul Jotaro states that on play you could pay 1 and activate Game that wagers soul. That is, you shuffle your deck, finally an effect that lets you shuffle your deck. Top check your deck, and if it is a character, you salvage a character, and this gains 3k power. If it's not, send this card to the waiting room. I'm recommending this card because you're not worried again about the stock because your main level 3 comes from your hand. It's a nice way to build up hand. You're brave enough. Also, it's just like a funny effect as well. Days of Fighting Joseph is on play from hand, double drop search. You know what you're getting. It even lets you get 2 of them. If you only want to search 1, here is the Foo Fighter. Wait, can I call it that? Ora Rush states that act, pay 1, send this card to the waiting room. Salvage the 3/2 and on play from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that is a character, this gains 2k power. Favorite Cherry Kakyoin is on play from hand, top check 2 cards from the top of your deck and rearrange them in any order. And he's a drop salvage and you pump a character 1k power at the end of it. Also the JJR, fantastic. This one is oddly specific, but Breakthrough Move Kakyoin states that when you play a climax, you can put the top card of your deck to your clock. Top check 4, add a level 1 or higher card. So if you are in need of something, you could dig for it. Or if you need to replenish your hand, you could also use this. If you don't have that on board, but you're ready to play the climax, play this card instead. Tradition of the Joestar family Jotaro states that on play from hand, place the top card of your stock to your clock. Search and play a cost 0 character. So you play this, call the Kakyoin, then you play the climax, pay 1, then you break even in hand for 2 stock. Not the best, it's something. Stronger Than Before Dio states that when this is reversed in battle, put the top card of your deck to your clock, menu cigarettes. Unlimited Battle Spirit Jolene is on play from hand, you can pay 1, clock from hand, top check up to 6, add up to 2 characters. Mysterious Sticker E Costello is on play from hand, ditch a character and you search a character that you already have on board. All of these suggestions are cards that will help you keep your hand size by using stock as a way to plus, or a way to just maintain your hand size, as well as different ways to grab the level 3 Jotaro. Because again, you really need to have 2 copies of this in your hand. Now to reiterate, I typically suggest running secondary level 3s, and I do suggest that here as well, but if you have the Jotaro combo, you are going to be running some weenies as your other attacks. The reason for that is that you're using those cards as cleanups, because again, you're doing 17 points of damage with 1 card. If you swing for 2 on your other strikes, that's probably going to clean up the game. If you are interested in trying this out, here is a sample deck list that I have found on the internet. Go ahead and net deck, there is no shame. We all have to start somewhere. I do suggest modifying these decks to more suit your playstyle. Now, is this good? Yes, I personally think it's good. Is it better than the Dio? Maybe. I personally like the Dio combo more because if your opponent is at 3/3, you have 4 stock and 4 hand, you automatically win the game. Again, I'll probably explain that one a whole lot later. This card though, the Jotaro, it has more flavor and the effect is just something that I like a little more. Not really like just like super overpowered or like super strong, because if that is true, I'd be playing Marine for my Hololive deck instead of Laplace Darkness. It's more of just like the fun effects that I really do like in Weiss Schwarz. And this is definitely a fun effect. And that is why I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. You're most likely playing the Dio though. And that is where we're going to end today's video. Thank you all for watching. What do you think of the Jotaro card? Are you going to be trying out? And who is your husbando in Jojo? You can say it, I won't judge. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. And thank you all to my channel members scrolling up over here. They are Zawardo to me. Oh my god, that's so fucking lame. That's a lame ass pun. Take care everyone. Peace.